Hello, watching Vnews Bulletin. Bangor from North and now the headlines as usual.
Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio pays official visits to Vietnam. SEA Games, another boost to tourism recovery. And later on, Quảng Nam striving to become tourism hotspot.
Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio is on official visit to Vietnam. The visit is made at the invitation of his Vietnamese counterpart, Phạm Minh Chính.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính hosted an official welcoming ceremony in Hanoi on May 1st for Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio and a high-level delegation of the Japanese government were here for an official visit from April 30 to May 1st. The visit by the Japanese Prime Minister takes place when the Vietnam-Japan extensive strategic partnership is developing robustly across the fields. The visit is intended to deepen the Vietnam-Japan relations, promote the implementation of the outcomes of Prime Minister Chính visit to Japan, enhance political trust between the two countries, and the good relationship between the two governments. Following the ceremony, the two government leaders planted memorial trees in the compounds of the government office. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and his Japanese counterpart Kishida Fumio discussed in depth the Vietnam-Japan bilateral relations and international and regional issues of mutual concern at the talks the same day. They reached consensus on continuing to enhance political trust through maintaining high-level visits and contact and the effectiveness of cooperative and dialogue mechanisms. They agreed to promote collaboration in post-pandemic economic recovery, including in trade, investment, agriculture, energies, and the environment. They will speed up procedures so that Japan can declare opening up its market for Vietnam's Long in September this year, while continuing to facilitate the export to Japan of Vietnamese pomelo, avocado, and rambutan. The two sides will push ahead with collaboration in security, defense, UN peacekeeping operation, and war consequences settlement in Vietnam, among others. Following the talks, the Prime Ministers jointly chaired a press conference on the main outcomes of the talks. They witnessed the exchange of 22 cooperation documents between ministries, agencies, localities, and enterprises of the two countries. They attended a seminar on the two countries' cooperation in technology renovation, digital transformations, and supply chain diversification on May 1st. Prime Minister Chính told the seminar that there is great potential for the economies of Vietnam and Japan to cooperate in many fields, particularly in technology, digital transformation, and supply chain diversification. The Japanese Prime Minister elaborated that the key for Japanese enterprises to operate stably in Vietnam is the supporting industries of Vietnam, so the two sides should collaborate to enhance the capacity and technologies for those industries. The same day, General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng hosted a reception for Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio. General Secretary Trọng suggested the two sides continue to promote exchanges and meetings, increase coordination at international fora for the benefit of the two countries and for peace, friendships, and cooperation in the region and the world at large. Prime Minister Kishida congratulated General Secretary Trọng on being elected by the 30th National Party Congress to continue holding the position of General Secretary. He affirmed that he would do his best to enhance relations between the two countries. During their meeting the same day, President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc and Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio expressed their delight at the development of the Vietnam-Japan extensive strategic partnership, especially their cooperation in response to COVID-19. The leaders agreed to closely coordinate at international and regional fora, exchange views on international and regional issues of mutual concern such as the situation in the East Sea and Ukraine, dealing with non-national security issues and strengthening regional linkages. Meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio, Chairman of the National Assembly Vương Đình Huệ said the legislative body of Vietnam continues to strengthen its legal system to create favorable conditions for investment and business, not only for domestic investors but also foreign ones, including Japan. The Japanese Prime Minister spoke highly of the efforts by Chairman Huệ in enhancing ties between the two legislative bodies in the context of COVID-19 epidemic.
Deputy Prime Minister Lê Minh Khái has signed a resolution issuing the government's action program to implement the National Assembly's resolution on the economic restructuring plan for 2021 to 2025.
The resolution sets the target of revamping the growth model and improving productivity, quality, competitiveness and self-reliance, adaptations and resilience of the national economy. Accordingly, labor productivity is projected to grow more than 6.5% annually, and the gap in national competitiveness with other ASEAN countries, namely Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Thailand, will be narrowed by 2025, especially in terms of institutions, infrastructures, and human resources. Among 35,000 cooperatives set by the end of 2025, more than 3,000 will utilize high technologies in production and consumption, and 50% of agricultural cooperatives set up connectivity with businesses in value chains. To fulfill the targets, the resolution specifies major tasks and solutions, with the first group of tasks focusing on restructuring public investment, state budgets, credit organizations, and public non-business units.
Exports and imports reported double-digit growth in the first quarter of 2022, signaling a good year for the foreign trade. Experts forecast that total export-import revenue can reach a record $700 billion this year.
The Agency of Foreign Trade said Vietnam's foreign trade rose by $176 billion in quarter one, a year-on-year increase of over 14%. Exports alone expanded by nearly 13% during the period. Vietnam enjoyed relatively high growth in agricultural product shipments at 18 to 19%. Some key exports such as coffee, rice, and aquatic products saw even higher growth of up to 15%. Experts attributed the surge to great benefits brought by new generation free trade agreements, particularly the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, UK-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. As the Ministry of Industry and Trade expects foreign trade to surge by 6 to 8% this year, with trade surplus maintained. It has focused on helping traders make the most of the free trade agreements.
Vietnam's tourism sector is hoping to speed up its post-pandemic recovery as SEA Games 31 is being held just as the country reopens its doors to international visitors. Southeast Asia's largest sporting event is expected to be catalyst for Hanoi and the other 11 localities hosting events to attract local and foreign visitors.
Famous for its historical relics and ancient pagodas and temples, Vietnam's capital Hanoi should top the itinerary of visitors coming to the country for the 31st SEA Games. The old quarter, which boasts beautiful architectural landmarks dating back to French colonial times, is a must-see destination as Ang Hoan Kim Lake, Ngọc Sơn Temple, Thê Húc Bridge, and the President Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. Hương Pagoda Ba Viên National Park and Đường Lâm Ancient Village on the outskirts of the capital also well worth a visit. To the northwest of Hanoi, Sapa Town in Lào Cai province is home to an array of tourist sites such as Hàm Rồng Flower Garden, Mường Hoa Valley, Bao Waterfall, and a stone church. In particular, nearby Mount Fansipan, the highest peak in Indochina, is great for trekkers and nature lovers. south of Hanoi and hosting karate events, Ninh Bình province is expected to be a magnet for foreign visitors during the 31st SEA Games. It boasts a wide range of natural and cultural heritages like the Tràng An ecotourism site, Tam Cốc Bích Động, Múa Cave, Cúc Phương National Park, Ba Điếng Pagoda, and the ancient capital Hoa Lư, among others. For those planning a long stay in Vietnam, the former imperial capital of Huế, Đà Nẵng, Hội An, Nha Trang, and Phú Quốc Island are among the best destinations on offer. The 31st SEA Games is seen as a golden opportunity for Vietnam to recover its tourism after a 2-year hiatus due to COVID-19.
The tourism sector's target of welcoming 5 million foreign visitors and 60 million domestic tourists this year is ambitious, but still reachable, according to the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism.
On March the 15th, Vietnam officially reopened tourism activities in the new normal, with specific regulations for inbound and outbound tours. Localities nationwide have been requested to show their own plans to resume tourism activities to suit their specific conditions. Major markets of Vietnamese tourism, including Southeast Asia, have shown interest in Vietnam's reopening. Bright sides have also seen in other markets such as Europe and North America, and visa policy for Western European countries has been restored. The administration expressed confidence that with the positive efforts and engagement of businesses, ministries, sectors, and localities, the target of 5 million foreign arrivals for 2022 is feasible. Since the beginning of January, the volume of international searches for Vietnam's aviation has remained very high. Notably, the increase rate is 425% on January the 21st and 374% on February the 3rd against the same period of 2021.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has requested that the Central Province of Quảng Nam, home of National Tourism Year 2022, continue working closely with relevant quarters in promoting tourism activity and contribute to lifting socio-economic development in the Central region.
To become a highlight on the country's tourism map, Central Quảng Nam Province has focused on strengthening the quality of its tourism products in order to attract more visitors, especially in the post-pandemic time.
We have planned events and art programs throughout the year to breathe a new life into the local tourism sector. We expect that the National Tourism Year will be a driving force for the recovery and development of tourism.
Green tourism is a new offering and expected to thrive as Quảng Nam boasts various historical, cultural, and ecological values, together with precious natural resources.
In addition to traditional tourism products, we are focusing on improving tourism quality, including transportation, accommodation, and specialties, as well as introducing new art products to appeal to tourists.
Quảng Nam possesses huge potential and advantages to boost its tourism, from the UNESCO World Heritage Sites of Hội An Ancient Town, Mỹ Sơn Sanctuary, and the Cù Lao Chàm Mua Biosphere Rivers, among others.
We are promoting sustainable tourism development, offering tourism products associated with nature, and boosting links with other localities to strengthen the country's image among international friends.
Despite the pandemic, Quảng Nam's tourism sector has made great efforts to bounce back and overcome difficulties and turn the local area into a tourism hotspot of the country.
And that's wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for watching. See you next time.